Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nicky's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nicky's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nicky's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys, welcome to Nicky's World. I'm Nicky, your host, and today, guys, we gotta talk about the Democratic Socialists of America because they have become a threat to this country and they've become a threat to the freedoms and liberties that you value in this country so much. So we're gonna talk about that and expose them for who they are. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nicky's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, tip, and commission me for a photo shoot. If you guys love Nicky's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, I do have a bunch of affiliate links to go through. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut-based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, and your right to say stuff without fear of being blocked, suspended, or deplatformed, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to Minds.com. Also, I do have the most awesome, ladies and gentlemen, and the most awesome affiliate link from Burner. Burner is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make their top-of-the-line Burner SD, Burner LE, TCR, Mission 4, and their newest, ladies and gentlemen, their compact launcher. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment, your right to self-defense, but you guys want to do it in a less lethal manner, well then, ladies and gentlemen, head on over to my friends at Burner.com. And full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, I do own a Burner LE pistol myself. And finally, guys, I have this awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link from North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply, ladies and gentlemen, they make their top-of-the-line North Shore Megamax diaper, their North Shore Supreme diaper, their North Shore Supreme pull-up, and their Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know somebody out there that needs to wear adult diapers and that needs to be put in adult diapers like I am, ladies and gentlemen, well then, ladies and gentlemen, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, and they will make sure that they are diapered up and padded up like me. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nicky's World, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wow, yeah, that was a mouthful. That was. And yes, guys, I am diapered up as always. I am in my North Shore Megamax diapers with my Turner boosters. And plus, I'm wearing a t shirt today because it is basically hot and humid outside. So I'm diapered up, padded up. Let's get on with the show, shall we? And before we get on with the show, I just want to say a few things, guys. I know I haven't been podcasting for the last couple of days because I've been so busy with my graduate school work. And yes, I do go to graduate school on a part-time basis. And most times my grad school classes are basically one or two classes at a time. So I'm trying to graduate and get my master's in social work. I know I am expected to graduate in the spring of 2028, so which is kind of great and awesome for me because that shows that yes, I am going to be graduating. I am going to be moving up and getting on with my life and basically getting my master's degree and basically being able to move into a comfortable lifestyle and all that. So I am getting there, but sometimes when you're in grad school, your classes take more precedent than work. So it does. I have to find that balance in between, and that's what I'm learning between working, grad school, and doing a podcast show, doing my modeling stuff. You got to find that balance in between, and I'm trying to fit kayak fishing in between. So that's something I'm learning and doing, and I thank y'all for being understanding about that. But without further ado, let's get the show going, shall we? So today, guys, I want to talk to you about the DSA, which is the Democratic Socialists of America. They've become a political and social threat to this country. Okay, after Mandani and that a socialist mayor in Seattle that got elected, they've become a political threat to this country. They've become a basically a clear and present danger to freedom, liberty, and democracy in this country. They've become. Because here's the reason for that. The DSA, they want to bring socialism, communism, Marxism to America. They want to basically overthrow the United States government. And they basically, like this, ladies and gentlemen, they want to bring their brand of socialism, communism into this country. Okay? They want to live like communist countries like North Korea, China, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Cuba, okay? They want to live like that. But then the problem is they want to do it all here in America because they go like this. Well, that's not communist. That's not socialist. Because these people have never lived in these countries. These people have never, ever experienced what's it like to live in a communist country. And here's the funny part. These DSA people never understand. Many of these communist countries like China, Vietnam, Laos, okay, they have mandatory military service. They don't care. They don't care like if you're like BIPOC or this or identify as this and this and this. If you have to do mandatory military service in those communist countries, you have to do mandatory military service. And that's the problem with these socialists. These socialists, which is actually communists, they they want to bring their brand into this country. But then the problem is socialism and communism has never worked. It has failed so badly that these people don't get it through their thick head. And and basically communists and socialists have killed more people than Hitler and Stalin combined, in my opinion. This is why the DSA, who've been going on these talk show circuits and all that, who's been doing their own conventions and all that, have said, "Oh, we want open borders. We want no borders. Everybody's welcome into the country. We want to defund the military. We want to get rid of the Senate. We want to get rid of Congress, the president, and all that." Basically, they want to get rid of the Constitution. Basically, and then they want to live like mob rule, like Mao's China. And I'll give you a full disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. I studied Mao's China when I was at Eastern Connecticut State University. Okay, so I studied the history of it, and I knew how brutal, ruthless Mao was to the Chinese people. And if these people want to learn how brutal he was, go take a class on that, ladies and gentlemen. Go take a class on it, because I'll guarantee you it'll be a fucking eye opener as to why communism, okay, and socialism never works out. But then these delusional leftists who all wear face diapers sometimes, who all wear face diapers, who all have severe mental illness and have severe issues, who think that, oh, socialism is the way, socialism will give us like trans rights or like free everything. No, it doesn't, dude. Socialism is going to make you more poor than you really fucking are, dude. This is why the DSA should be treated as a terrorist organization. The DSA should be treated as a terrorist organization on the same level as the Free Palestine cult group. They should be treated as such, and at the same time, we do have a law on the books called the Communist Control Act of 1954. That should be dusted off and basically enforced, okay? Because basically what these DSA cult members want to bring is their brand of socialism and communism into America. They basically want to overthrow the government. And by their ideology, that is a federal crime that should be prosecuted immediately. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, these people should literally be thrown in prison. These people should literally be thrown in federal prison for the rest of their natural life, because they're avowed communists. Because when they say they're socialists, they're actually communists, and they want communism in America. If Senator McCarthy was alive today, he would have the DSA running for the border. He would have the DSA running out of this country in less than, let me see, the time it takes to do a diaper change, okay? By the time it takes to do a diaper change on me, he would have the DSA cult members fleeing to any socialist country that will take them in, okay? He would have them fleeing. But since McCarthy is long gone, we do need McCarthyism back in this country, because that way we bring McCarthyism back. Anybody who's a DSA member should be disavowed, should be run out of the business, should be run out of public places, should be shamed at, should be bullied, should be harassed, hounded, ridiculed, laughed at. Okay, should never do business with anyone who is a DSA member. Anyone who's a DSA member should be disassociated from society, should be called a lunatic, should be called mentally ill, should be called schizophrenic. The fact that they want to overthrow this country and bring communism, they should all be thrown in fucking jail. They should all be thrown in fucking prison for all I fucking care. The fact that they want to do this shit and the fact that they want to say this shit is why people like me, who are conservative, libertarians, independents, are sounding the alarm at the growing threat of the DSA in this country. The DSA is becoming the biggest threat to freedom and democracy. They have become the biggest threat to this country. These people have literally become lunatic fringes, okay? Even Dan Bongino yesterday highlighted about these people, okay? These people are crazy. These people are mentally insane. The fact that they want their brand of socialism, communism, where there's no such thing as borders, there's no such thing as prison, police, or the military. These people are cuckoo. These people are nuts. These people are out of their damn fucking mind. Yeah, seriously. These people are out of their damn mind. The fact that these people want to bring their brand of socialism and communism to America, even though we see examples in Vietnam, North Korea, China, Laos, Cuba, we see examples of that, but they want to bring that into America? It just goes to show these people are mentally insane. These people are mentally nuts. These people make schizophrenics and bipolar people look like fucking normal. Yeah, these people are. But the fact that the DSA has become a political threat to this country, yeah, people like me are speaking up about it. People like me are talking about it. We're talking about it because these people want to make everybody equally poor. And these people want to bring every fucking criminal and every fucking nut job into this country and turn America into a third world slop. Yeah, I got a better solution for this, guys. I got a solution for this, okay? My solution to these DSA people, let's give them a one-way ticket to a socialist country of their choice. Okay, let's give them a one-way ticket. Let them experience living in a socialist country for a year. Okay, and then when they leave international airspace, Marco Rubio revokes their passport immediately. Okay, and when they revoke their passport, they can't come back to America. They can't. So they have to. So we make them live and suffer for their ideology. And we make them say, you want to be a socialist? You want to be an avowed communist? Go right ahead. We're going to send you to a socialist and communist country of your choice. And we're going to let you see how you like the ideology. We're going to let you see how you like the philosophy. Because I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, they ain't going to like it. And they will never like it, because to them they'll be like, well, that's not socialism, that's not communism. You know what that's not? That's not normal behavior for these people. These people, in my opinion, are basically lunatics who basically have never got the opportunity to do shit. These people have never got opportunities. These people have never got anything in life, okay? These people were basically laughed at, ridiculed, bullied because they never felt important. And nobody's ever taught them that. Do your own thing. Don't don't follow any group think and all that shit. Okay? That's the Gen X mentality here, right? We always questioned everything. We always challenged the status quo. Yeah. And we always did our own thing. But the problem is these DSA members, many of whom are mentally ill, crazy, lunatic, and people who think that living like a communist is far better than living like a capitalist. But the problem is, these people have never experienced communism, but yet they espouse the ideology so much that it makes me question what would happen if we dumped these people in Cuba or China or Vietnam or North Korea. Would they ever survive that country? Would they ever survive being equally poor? Would they ever survive like being told this and this and this? They doubt it because these people would never even last a single day. These people wouldn't even last 2 seconds in a communist country. Look at Cuba, for example. They have rolling blackouts every day. Their medical care is so subpar, they wouldn't even last a single day. And the fact that many of these DSA members are trans cult members, they wouldn't last a single second in those countries. They would not last in it. But the fact of the matter is, guys, and I'm going to say this, the Democratic Socialists of America have become a political threat to this country. They've become such a huge threat that it makes me wonder why Kash Patel is not devoting FBI resources to monitor these people, to surveil these people. In fact, makes me wonder, ladies and gentlemen, why Congress has not even bothered to bring back the post 9/11 Patriot Act. Because I tell you what, if we ever brought back the Patriot Act federal law, we would literally have these Antifas, Trantifas, these DSAs, these socialists, communists, progressive, liberals. We'd all have them running for the damn mountain. We'd all have them hunted down. We'd all have them like under surveillance because we'd be able to say like this, look, these people are a threat to democracy and freedom. They need to be under constant surveillance from the federal government. And it makes me wonder why we hadn't done such a thing. Makes me wonder as I'm here in my diaper and t-shirt and I'm sitting there going, why haven't we ran these avowed communists out of the country? Why haven't we? Because if they want to be communists, why the fuck are they here in America? Why aren't they promoting sending them to a communist country that agrees with them or sending them to Cuba that agrees with them? Why? Why? Because you know why? They want to say they're communists, but they don't want to live the communist lifestyle. This is a thing I've seen a lot. Where these people want to be ghetto and gangster, okay? You got white liberals who support, like, say, what blacks and minorities do living in the ghetto, but don't actually want to live with them. It's the same thing with DSA people. These people want to say they're communists, but don't want to actually live in communists. You know, as I say, ladies and gentlemen, people who want to, they say, when it's time to do the gangster shit, everybody runs and flee. Sort of like DSA people. They all want to be gangster, but when it's time to do the gangster shit, they all chicken out. So it's like this. So they say it's like this. They say they want to be communists. They say they want to be socialists, but when it's time to do the socialist shit, they chicken out. They get scared and chicken because if I'm a socialist and communist, that means all my shit has to be given away equally to everyone, and I have to be equally poor like them. Yeah, and that's why these people who say they're communists but never like they're communists. So that's why I always say it's like this. People who want to be communists and socialists, but when it's time to do that shit, they're the first ones to flee over the border. They're the first ones to make a makeshift raft and flee to sunnier places. Because you know why? These people, they say they're communists, but then when it's time to do the communist shit, they all chicken out. Okay? They all chicken out. That's like the same people who voted for Mandani in New York City, who voted for Mandani as mayor because he's an avowed socialist. He's an avowed DSA member. Okay? So the people who voted for him, okay, they're now chickening out because you vote for the guy, but now you don't want to live by what you voted for, and now you want to run to like say Long Island, Westchester County, or anywhere out because of how you voted for him. This is what. This is why DSA members are just chicken little shits who like to talk like they're big and bad and shit. But when it's time to do the shit, and when they get like punched in the mouth for their shit, they run and cry like the soy little bitches that they really fucking are. My generation, I'm a Gen Xer. We never had this kind of shit in my generation growing up. Okay, we never did. But these people, they act like this shit. They act like this shit in my generation growing up. They get run out of town so fast that they would never be heard from ever fucking again. Hell yeah, they would. But the fact of the matter is, guys, DSA members are just cult members. They're cult members. They'll never win any like state or federal seats because we all know they're never going to overthrow a legitimate government. They're never going to get power beyond like what, a local town. That's it. But other than that, they're never going to do it. They're never going to mount a win at the federal level. They're never. And there's a reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is that, look, we have three equal branches of the government, which is what? The executive, the legislative, and judicial. They're never going to be able to do it. And if they try to overthrow the legitimate government in this country, you know what that's called? Treason and sedition. That enough alone, ladies and gentlemen, will get you sent to a federal prison for at least the rest of your life. Or in some cases, you get the death penalty for trying to overthrow a legitimate government. You really do, ladies and gentlemen. So this is why I tell people this. It's like this. The DSA, which is like the Democratic Socialists of America, they're a bunch of lunatic, fringe, lefty cuckoo birds who have this schizophrenia, bipolar view of the world, who think that, oh, socialism and communism will bring kumbaya into this world. Yeah, you keep telling that, dude. You keep telling it to yourself that, dude, because that'll bring you that'll bring your lunacy on a grand scale. That'll make people think that, are you fucking nuts? Are you fucking mentally ill? Are you fucking out of your damn mind? Because that's what they really are, ladies and gentlemen. The DSA people are basically lunatic fringes who basically belong in a mental asylum. Okay, and the fact that these people are gaining political power in this country means that they are a threat to democracy. They are a threat to freedom and liberty in this country. Okay, and then on top of that, because they're avowed socialists, which is also a slang for communists, it's also illegal in the United States of America to be a communist under the Communist Control Act of 1954, which is a federal law that says that you can't be a communist in America, and if you're a communist, you go to prison. The fact that we have the law on the book and the fact that it's not being enforced today makes me question Cash Patel, and I'm looking at you. How come you're not enforcing that? And hey, Todd Blanche, I know you're acting AG. You're not getting your lawyers or your researchers who are sitting at the law library right now looking up that law. Well, I'm looking at you two guys. I'm looking at you and going, let's go to the law library and ask the researcher that question, or basically go ask your favorite AI, your favorite Chat GPT, like Grok or Chat GPT or Google AI. Go ask that. Go ask that, because I tell you what, it is technically illegal to be a communist in this country. And those who espouse communist ideology, I'm surprised that they're in this country. If they tried to say they were communists in any other country, oh man, they'd be fucking run out in less than 2 seconds. I'd be there in my diaper t-shirt or my diaper onesie, watching them get run out of the country and go in with my coffee and going like this. Oh shit. Yeah. But the fact that they are avowed communists and avowed socialists says to me, ladies and gentlemen, that they are a threat to freedom and liberty and democracy in this country. They are a clear and present danger. And as someone who escaped a communist country like in Laos during the Vietnam War, these people would not know what communism looked like if it slapped them in the face, if a brick or cinder block got thrown at their head. These people wouldn't even know it. They'd be like, well, that's not communism, that's not communism. But even if you throw a brick at their head, even if you drag them kicking and screaming to an actual communist country to show them what communism was like, they still would be mentally and schizophrenically insane, saying, "No, that's not communism." Because you know why? They got blinders. They got blinders. They've been drinking the socialist and communist Kool-Aid so much that they got so drunk. That's why they don't see it. And the only way you have to show it to them is to physically drag them, kicking and screaming to see it for themselves. That's why I have often said like this: these free Palestine people, they want to free Palestine so much on a boat, drop them right in Gaza. Let them see their ideology for themselves. See what free Palestine really is for them. Let them see. Drop them on the boat, drop them right off the pier, and tell Israel, just leave them there. Just leave them there. Let them see it for themselves. And if they run crying for the border, just turn them right back and just say, no, you said you wanted a free Palestine? You go back with those people. Let them. Because you know why? Make them live by their own policy. Okay, make them live by their own policy. That's what Dan Bongino would say. Dan Bongino would say like this: make these people live up to their own policy, to their own ideology. They want communism so much. They want socialism so much. Listen, listen. Some to live by their own ideology. Some make them give up their home, their property, their way of life for everyone else. Make them, because you know why? The minute you make somebody live by their own policy, they have a second thought. They have like a oh shit moment. Okay, they have the oh shit. I don't know if we really want to live like this. I don't know if we really want this shit. Okay? Make them live by that, because you know why? Once you make them live by that, you make them realize, yeah, communism and socialism ain't such a hot idea in America, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't. But the fact that these people want to live like that, I say like this: make them live to their policy, make them live by the policy that they choose. Okay, make them live by that, because the minute you do, ladies and gentlemen, you make them realize like, oh shit, I don't think that's such a good idea or such a hot idea. But the fact of the matter is, guys, these people who say they want to be communists, who want to live like communist China, communist North Korea, Vietnam, Cuba, or Laos, go make them live by that. Go make them live by that. Because I'm going to tell you this much. They like to talk, but to walk the walk, yeah, that's not. They would be the first people to chicken out in less than 5 seconds. They'd be the first people to run like chicken little shit with their fucking head cut off. They literally would, guys, and they literally would. But I will tell you this much, guys, and I'll tell you this: these people who say they want to live like communists, live like this and this and this. Yeah, they don't want to live like this and this and this. They all want to say it because they want to feel that, like, oh, I'm important. Oh, I'm superior to you. No, they don't. Because you know why? These so-called communists, okay? These so-called communists who want to say that they want to live like this, live like that, live so comfortably, live so lavishly like a communist. Problem is, they're saying that while living here in the freest capitalist country of America, but don't fucking realize that if you want to live like communists, I'll take them to Laos for a month. Let them see what it's like. I'll take them to Vietnam. I'll take them to China. I'll take them to Cuba. Let them see what it's like. Okay? Once they see what it's like, then these people are going to be like, I don't know if I want to live like this. But they don't, because you know why? They want to live like the socialist bullshit. And you know the reality is? They're just bullshitting you. They're just bullshitting. They don't want to live like socialists. They don't want to live like communists. They just want to bullshit you. And that's why I look at these people and I go like this: you people are nothing but bullshitters. Yeah, you people are bullshitters to the 10th degree. But the fact is, guys, these people who say they want to live like socialists, yeah, that's not happening, ladies and gentlemen. These people are full of shit. These people are full of crap. Yeah, they are. And they're full of themselves. They really are. The fact that they say they want to live like socialists and communists, why aren't they going to an actual communist country? Why aren't they going to the communist country that they love and espouse so much? Why are they here in America espousing the bullshit, espousing all the crap? It makes me wonder, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm here in my diaper and t-shirt, why are they still here in America espousing this crap? Why are they, guys? Why? Why is it that they want to? Is it that they want to live like communist, like capitalist type? But the problem is, if they want to live like capitalist communists, like Vietnam and China, you got to give up certain things. Okay, you got to give up certain things. I don't see these people wanting to give it up. So these people are just full of shit. These people are crazy. The fact that they want open borders and all that in a communist country like Vietnam, like China and North Korea, is there such thing as open borders in their country? No. These people live in delusional fucking la la land. These people live in what I call crazy. Okay? These are people that you would see at a psychiatric hospital or at a psychiatric prison because they live crazy, because they think that, oh, we want a country with open borders, defund the military, defund the police, like we don't want we want to remove the current government in this country. These people are fucking psycho, lunatic, mentally ill, crazy. These people are, guys. These people are. And the fact that these people want to espouse this shit makes me think like this. Are they insane? Are they mentally insane? Because that's what they really are, ladies and gentlemen. They really are mentally insane if they're doing that shit. Yeah, they really, really are. But the fact that these people want to live like that shit, yeah, it just goes to show, man. These people wouldn't know what communism actually looked like if it fucking hit them on the head. Yeah, they wouldn't know. So that's why I just go like this. These people are nuts. They really are. They really are, guys. These people are beyond nuts. But yeah, they really are. They really are. Yeah. But wow, that was a good long show. That was really one of the best long shows ever. That really is. That really, really is, guys. But I seriously want to talk about something for a couple of minutes before I end the show for today. Okay? I really want to. But yeah. The fact is, guys, I know I hadn't been podcasting lately because I know I've been like heavily into grad school, heavily into my job. I know I've been trying lately, guys, to get an episode out. I try my best. If the bare minimum I try to do is get an episode out once a week, but if I can try to get an episode out twice a week, that's great. And I know I will get this episode up later today or later this afternoon. So I will try to get it out for you guys. All right. But like I said, guys, I try my best to get a show out for you, get my opinions out, get my 2 cents out, get my say out for you guys. So I try my best and I do as best as I can for you guys. Okay. I try, but I will continue to be podcasting for y'all. But I, at a bare minimum, will get an episode out once a week. But I will say like this, summer's here and I got lots of things I want to do. I got lots of things I want to take care of. And I got lots of things that I want to have done. Okay, guys? So I know it's going to be tedious and all that. But hey, you guys are my customers and I want to get a product out for you guys. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for listening to Nicky's World. I'm Nicky, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nicky's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.